called Spartacus.
It's called Spartacus, yes, that's true. I remember back in the day, but it wasn't called Spartacus then. Now it's called Spartacus. We've given it a name. And this is what makes you the #1 artist in Ghana. Like, nobody comes close to you. Yeah, you know, Abodia, the man with the biggest record label in Ghana.
We have a divorce song coming. For all divorce.
Now we just want to, you know, lighten the atmosphere a little bit because we know some of you is a bit tense for you because today is actually the grand finale for the divorce series. My name is Roslyn Felly.
I'm KMJ. Lawyer is here, Lawyer Senna Oto is here, and he's been with us throughout the period. I think that we've really had a great time, you know, talking about this. Last week we were supposed to have done the final conversation, but we couldn't, so we decided to put it today. So yeah, I know there's so much that we have been able to achieve with this. We're excited. Today we'll be doing more of your messages. There's been tons of messages that I've seen.
There's actually a lady. I want to apologize to her. She's watching the show today. She sent me a message yesterday, and I gave her my number. She sent me a message asking when she could call. I was so busy. I was swamped up in so much. So when I was able to reply was around 8 p.m. or so, and she couldn't reply. I'm so sorry. I promised to give you Senna's number, direct access to Senna, so you can have a conversation with him. So please don't worry at all. I'll try and call you today or so after the show, and then I'll connect you to Senna. Okay, I'm very sorry about
Forgive
that.
us. We live a very terrible life.
And we know you're going through a lot. This divorce series has been so impactful. We have no idea. We have no idea because I get surprised when I step out there and people approach me and say, your divorce series has helped me. I need to speak with a lawyer. I keep watching your divorce series. That's one of the most impactful things you've done, and we are very excited about it. So it's been very impactful to a lot of people. Now today, like, you know, Kim just said, we have a lot of messages coming in, and so today is more of your personal experience where, you know, Senna will address those experiences for us. But you're looking nice this morning, though. KMJ didn't say it. I don't know, probably because he's a guy, he didn't want to say it.
Oh, so let me say this one then. That's the wife's birthday today. So Mrs. Photo, very special birthday wish going out to you from the entire crew over here. You have a great husband. No doubt about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we love you so much, and we have a birthday present for you. He can't say no. So look out for our birthday present.
Right.
I certainly can say no.
Right, so we'll take our very first message that came in. Hello, Prime Morning. I've been married for 2 years now, but my husband has started putting up some attitude. I've complained to him so many times, but the situation keeps worsening. How do I tell my husband that I want a divorce? Kate Welbeck from Pokwasi. And I think Natasha also says, good morning from Natasha Atodum. Does my partner have to agree to the divorce before I go for it?
Okay, so thank you for having me back in the studio. And yes, it's legal vacation has begun, so we don't have to be all uptight and then have our tunic shirts and then all of that. So today you'd realize that I toned down a little bit. Yes, because now we get to relax after a tough, busy year. You know. Yeah, so back to the question, we'll start from the bottom. You don't need your partner to consent, except for if you want to rely on the requirement of separation for 2 years. Okay. Then you would need them to also consent that, yes, you have been separated for 2 years. But if you don't want to rely on that and then any other one, you don't need consent from anybody. You go ahead, prepare your petition, file it, and then they'll be served with it. If they choose not to respond, the process continues.
Oh, right.
Without them, we just...
Yes.
Whether they sign or they don't sign?
No, whether you sign or not, the process continues. Because you're given an opportunity to defend yourself. Because when you have a process in court, the court has a burden to listen to both sides. And so the person who brings the petition, what the person is complaining about is in the petition. Then the other person who is being brought against will be invited to come and say your side of the story.
Wow.
But if you do not come, you have also said your side of the story by saying I won't come.
Okay.
So the other person can go on and prove their claim, and that's it.
I think I understand where she's coming from. You know, then a lot of people have the fear that, okay, so what if I serve the person that it doesn't show up?
Yeah.
So many of them are still there waiting that the man would agree that if you serve me, I will come. You get it? So they're not able to even start the process in the first place. So this is really an eye-opening.
I'd prefer a client whose other side doesn't show up. It's quite simple.
It makes it simple. What about the client who shows up and says, I still love my wife and I don't want divorce?
So the court begins by trying to establish that the marriage has broken down beyond reconciliation. Loving your wife or husband must be mutual. And you cannot force a person who is no longer into it to stay. And so, yes, we've had a number of those situations where one person suddenly, has the light bulb moment and says, oh, I don't want it dissolved anymore. But the other party is apprehensive and fearful that this is a game that he or she is playing. When I go back, it's going to be worse, or he or she might kill me. And so I won't even try it anymore. And so the court will not force the parties.
A person to say, okay.
The court will not force you to be together. Once you can establish by using the grounds to prove that the marriage has broken down beyond reconciliation,
we're good to go.
You're good to go.
Right. Okay, I think there was another one, the first one that came in.
Can we go back?
Can we go back to the first one?
Can we please go back and check the first one before?
I think
she
said...
She doesn't like the attitude. I've complained to him so many times, but the situation keeps worsening. How do I tell my husband that I want a divorce?
Well, by just telling everyone.
I want out. But just say you want out.
But you see, before you make that big decision, sometimes people get to the point where they're frustrated and they think divorce is the only option. It isn't. By the time you get to that point where you want to divorce, it should have been the last option. And so from the question, the husband is misbehaving, she didn't mention what kind of misbehavior it is. Because when you go to court, we're not looking at ordinary incidents like
he's not coming home early.
Well, that can amount to unreasonable behavior. But say, for example, when you provide him food, he just eats half and then he leaves the half. And people have gotten divorced because of Pepsodent. So one likes to press it from the bottom, the other squeezes it in the middle. Yes, and it becomes something that they cannot agree on, and then it breaks up the marriage. So you need to go beyond just, he's, like she puts it, she's putting up attitude. What kind of attitude? Does it amount to an attitude that can be placed in the facts that we talked about in the previous episode? If it can't, you'd have to go back and then wait till it gets to that point. Or you anticipate that you don't necessarily have to wait to the point where you are about, being choked. But if you can foresee and then you can demonstrate to the court that, no, I've had this threat one, he's, pulled up an empty gun on me twice. I don't need to wait till that gun is loaded before I know that, my life is at stake. So if you get to that point, then yes, you can. But you can just have the conversation with your spouse that if they are not interested in the marriage, or if you are no more interested in it, you have that conversation with them directly. Second, if you feel that it's too much for you, you can get the family involved. And then you can go to your family, they talk to their family, and then let them know that this is what our son or our daughter wants to do. And then the process starts.
Okay. On to our next message. Is there a way to get a divorce without going to court? Esther Ofie says so.
Well, yes.
There is?
Yes. There is, depending on the type of marriage you contracted. So if you did a customary law marriage, you don't need to go to court. The bringing of the return of the drinks and the dowry, and then the formal process, that customary process that you go through, depending on where you come from, your personal law. For some communities, the last stage of the customary divorce process is when they pour powder on your head, and then you have to walk through the community, at a certain time of the day, so that everybody knows that you are now single. Officially
like what they
back
did for
on the
KMK.
market. I know.
Yeah. It was a good experience.
Yeah. So if you do that, you don't necessarily need to go to court for the divorce anymore. But you may want to go to court for other ancillary reliefs. For example, you have kids.
Okay.
And then you want to have conversations as to custody. Because some of those conversations may not happen under the traditional or customary approach. Or they may even happen, but you're not happy with
how they go about
it. So you can go to court. If there are properties involved, you can't distribute it, under customary law the way it is. The substantive laws have processes as to how to distribute property that's acquired during marriage. So you may want to find a lawyer or by yourself go to court and then have some of these ancillary reliefs determined.
Okay. So in this case, it's not you breaking up the marriage or you dissolving the marriage in court.
Yes.
But it's the excesses or maybe the other part of it that you want to solve. Okay.
But yes, the simple answer is you can. Yeah. You can divorce without going to court.
Okay.
KMJ?
Good morning, Prime Morning. I told my husband I want a divorce, and since then, I haven't seen him. It's been 3 months now. He fled from the house. Please, I want to know if I can get a divorce without knowing where my husband is. I have a mail from Gaza.
But where is he going to?
Otilo.
People do that?
Yeah, I mean, people run away from responsibilities.
Oh, Ahmed's case is a typical case, right? Our guest that came to the studio, remember?
Yeah.
The husband has been out of that from that's about how many years? 5 years or so.
Yeah,
she wants a divorce. They can't find the husband. She doesn't know where the husband is.
And like I said, the law already has statutory number of years that when you disappear, we consider you as dead.
Right. How many years is that?
I think about 8 or so. I'll confirm 8 or 12.
Right.
Even when you're alive?
Yes. Once nobody has heard from you, nobody knows where you are and all of that, the law considers you as dead.
And so Castro got to that point,
yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so once the law considers you as dead, the process can continue. Then again, like I said, even when you are available and you don't respond, the court can continue. So where we cannot find you, you have run away, and then the one party still wants to go ahead with the divorce, the process is such that your petitions will be filed at the court. Once we don't know where they are, they would serve it at their last known address. If they try it 3 times and then it seemed like any other extra time of service will be wasting the court's time, the parties will initiate the process that we call substituted service. So you just paste it on the wall or post it in the newspapers and stuff like that. When the period is over and then he still doesn't show up, the court will continue.
Okay, right. If I can take you back a little bit, we'll read this one. But when you said that if it's customary marriage, you can go ahead and divorce out of court. Yes. But what about those that do the customary marriage, but then they have a certificate to the customary marriage? Because there's that one as well.
Yes.
That one, does it still have to go to court, or you can still dissolve it at home?
You can dissolve it at home. You see, customary law marriages have a particular incident to it, that we call registration of the marriage. And so once you register the marriage, it's not necessarily the same as having a court one.
Right.
It's just documentations that lets us recognize that this marriage has been registered, because the incident of customary marriages or customary law is that it knows no writing, and so our customs are oral and all of that, and the law recognizes it. But you want to travel, you want to show somebody that you were married in Ghana, you were married under custom. If you are out of this country, by word of mouth, they may not believe you. And so that process is available so that you can register the marriage. It also allows us to get to know how many marriages have been contracted and then all of that. Now, when you are dissolving such a marriage that has been registered, you need to also go and register your divorce.
Oh, okay.
You understand? But it doesn't
But you need a lawyer and all?
No, you don't necessarily need. You go to the assembly
okay.
where you went through the registration process, and then they will assist you.
Okay.
It's just a couple of forms you have to fill, and then that's it.
All right.
We need the records. Yeah. I found out not long ago my wife has been cheating on me with different men. And after I confronted her, she asked me to leave the marriage if I want to. But we've been married for just 3 months. Will I have to pay alimony after divorce? Derek from Tantra. Just 3 months.
Wow.
Just 3 months.
Interesting. But yeah.
He's been cheating before the marriage. Even after the marriage, he's still cheating.
It's not just one man. He said men. Different men.
From where I said, I've gotten to the point where I almost always want to listen to the other side. Because sometimes the stories sound too good to be true, and you would want to listen to the other side. But assuming, without admitting that that is the fact, it's 3 months. So there is a requirement and the law that, first of all, can we look at the annulment process, because they are under 1 year. And so if we look at the annulment process and then we can check the boxes, then he can get annulment. But if they've consummated and then there's no consanguinity and then all those stuff, then the whole annulment process option is, they don't have that option.
I mean, 3 months, they've definitely consummated.
You'll be amazed. Sometimes people get married and they travel abroad, or health and stuff like that. But then if all of that has been done and we're looking into the divorce, then yes, so there are a few or exceptional conditions under which the court will grant a divorce for under 2 years. You must prove that there is substantial hardship, among others. So if you can meet those requirements, then you can make a petition. First of all, you will need the permission from the court to bring, so we call it in law, leave. You need that permission before you can even bring that application. That's why we say that the general position of the law is that you cannot bring a petition under 2 years. But if you want to, you need permission from the court, which is leave, to allow you to file, and then you must prove or establish, the substantial hardship amongst the list of other requirements. So it's a very detailed conversation that we would need to have beyond the 6 or 7 line items that is over here. So he can get in touch after the show, and then we'll talk some more.
I know a friend of mine that actually 3 months said he's tired of the marriage and wanted to.
Yeah, sometimes it's even the night of the wedding.
They are tired of it.
Yeah, because when the weddings are happening and then at the church, things begin to come out, and then, somebody comes with a baby and says, this is my this, this is my that.
With that, you are not married, right? Because I think that they always come in because the man of God will ask if there's somebody here who feels that they shouldn't be joined together or forever hold your peace, right? And so somebody will come in before. But once they join them together, you have to go through divorce then.
You see, that statement that the man of God makes has no effect in law, because the law already gives a statutory period for you to bring, if you have anything, you come and formally bring it. But by the time the service is ongoing, that period would have, the period
lapsed,
would have lapsed.
Okay. How many months is it that you can, or it's 3 weeks?
It's about 3. So from the time you register your intention to do the whole marriage till the time is done, it's about 3 months or so.
Okay.
And so within that period, you can bring objections if you feel that, these people and they are related somehow. This is a stepson or or they don't know, or you feel like, he's already married somewhere. You have that opportunity to, bring it. But if they are in the church and then it's just customary that, the preachers say it, and so they say it.
But it doesn't hold any really serious.
It really doesn't hold.
It
really doesn't hold much. At that point, it's the last aspect of the marriage process that is done, which is the whole joining the two parties together and then signing of the certificate. If these days they even sign the certificates before even coming to the court.
Yeah, because of time and all that. So
yes. And so you need to look at all of that to be able to come to a conclusion on the matter.
Okay, so henceforth we're not going to be scared if anybody even comes out.
No, but you have to.
Because of what?
No, what if? Okay, but can the court appear on that day and say, okay, we have to put an injunction on the marriage? Because I have seen an injunction on marriage on that day.
Yes. So if an injunction on a marriage, first of all, the court will not appear.
Okay.
You appear before the court.
Okay.
So secondly,
Come and solve the
secondly, an injunction will not be obtained overnight. And so back to the same thing. They would have done the whole application during the period that's the window period that is open for. And then you can obtain it and you can serve it on that day or any other day.
Serving an injunction. I have experienced an injunction served on a wedding day before.
That's very
day.
I'd love to see the grounds on which that was done anyway.
Well, I think the grounds was that the man was married to another lady in, was it US or UK? And he was marrying somebody here. So during the customary marriage, then the lady there put an injunction on the marriage.
Wow.
So when the man appeared, then they brought the injunction. So the woman was not allowed to come out.
Sounds interesting. Because you see, in a situation like that, you don't even have to worry yourself. Once you're already married to the person, whatever ceremony they are doing there, it's of no effect. You can bring all the dress number of dresses that they want to wear and all of that.
When they are done, they still come and face you.
When they are done, that marriage will not be recognized in law. You understand? So if it will not be recognized in law, you want to do it to show a statement, but really and truly, the second marriage being contracted is not recognized as marriage in law, so that it doesn't have any benefits of a marriage. The only thing that can have an advantage or a benefit from that purported union will be children that will come out of it. And for that, even if they don't have a ceremony and they go and still give birth outside, that child will still be protected under law.
Yeah.
So I think that an injunction over a marriage is an excess. Most judges won't grant it.
Okay. Well, then she was lucky to get a judge grant it. My spouse is the main earner and I have limited funds to finance the divorce. What can I do, please? Wendy from Adenta.
Okay. Like I said, one of the reliefs that you can obtain is finance pending litigation. So the court can actually order your spouse to pay for your litigation process, including your lawyer. If you can demonstrate to the court that, look, I'm going through this. It's a life-threatening thing for me, and my partner has asked me not to work. I haven't worked in a while. You know, my earning capacity is impaired, and then all of that. But if I stay in this marriage, if you can argue your points, you have a shot of that argument finding favor, in the side of the judge or the court. And so, yes, one of the reliefs you can get when you're divorcing is to have the other party pay your fees pending litigation.
What if you work, but you don't earn that much? Let's say your partner earns 10 times what you earn, but you still earn. You're earning probably like 500 cedis. Your partner is earning 10,000 cedis.
Yeah, but you see, people assume that the divorce process is so expensive. It's not that expensive. It's not that expensive. Yes, we have lawyers in, we have bills to pay. So yes, we'll have that. But you can also go through it yourself. If you feel, you cannot afford a lawyer, it will complicate matters for you. But you can always have somebody you talk to, either a lawyer that can guide you on one or two processes. But you can put it together yourself if you want to represent yourself. The law allows you to represent yourself in court.
That's going to be difficult.
I'm
coming to represent myself, and then my partner has been able to get a lawyer. That is 100% loss for me.
No. The law is the law. And you see, once you appear in court unrepresented, the court has an extra burden
Okay.
To make sure that the playing fields are even.
Okay.
Right.
So it will not also do your case for you. The court won't do your case for you. But the court will make sure that if there are certain orders and things that are made, they would have to explain to you that, okay, you need to make this decision. And so the court will make an extra effort. And you see, the position of the law is straight. It doesn't matter whether the person has a lot of money or not. 1 + 1 in law would always be 1, not 2, anyway. So if 1 + 1 in law will be 1, it doesn't matter how, if you use the top lawyers in the country, you'll still come to the same conclusion. They may be successful in, putting in place measures to delay and drag the matter so that you can't even afford transport to be coming to court and your case will be thrown out. But all those things are there. But the law is the law. You can always do your case yourself.
Right. Good morning, Lawyer Senna. On what grounds can one get a divorce, please? A sister needs help. Ajoy Eboa Medina.
Okay, so Ajoy, one, that there's only one ground that a marriage has broken down beyond reconciliation. But you must look out for these things that I'm about to mention. That 1, there has been adultery. 2, there has been unreasonable behavior. So for details of this explanation, you can check out the previous
we already
recording,
discussed this,
which we discussed.
Yeah.
So you can also look out for the fact that adultery, unreasonable behavior, that the parties have been separated for 2 years, and that they've been separated for 5 years.
Yes.
And then also that there is something that is so difficult that they cannot reconcile, so their inability to reconcile on a matter. So if you can situate your sister's problems in any of this, then you have a shot.
Okay. Rosalind and KMJ, please ask a lawyer if the court will decide that my son lives with his mother after the divorce. I can't watch that woman raise my child after what she did. He's 7 years old. Patrick from Nima, I guess.
So if you watch the previous episodes on custody, your questions will be answered there. But a snapshot of it, who has the child lived with all his life? Whose control is the child used to? There are some families where everybody is busy and so the child lives with the grandmother and then all of that. So the child is used to that person's influence and then all of that. Then you can put all that together to convince the court that, yes, I do not want the child to be with the mother because the character of the mother has been impeached. The mother is on some form of drugs, mental issues and stuff like that. And the court would want to find out, are you also busy? Are you stay at home? If not, if the kid was already used to the grandmother's company, it is possible that the court can make that order.
Okay.
Hello, Mrs. The only I want is to convince my ex-husband to let me stay with my kids until they grow up. I'm not financially stable, but will try my best as a mother to take care of them. I just want the 3 boys to live together with me.
Okay. Their age...
Okay, I think this one is a continuation. I'm now an apprentice learning hairdressing and also selling Indomie at night to cater for myself and my little son. I'm not happy with the 2 boys staying at Kumasi while I'm in Suhum. My ex-husband is also working at Sunyani and the kids are with his second grandmother. If only you can talk to him to let the kids stay with me, please. Yeah.
You see, again... If she has the time, she can listen to the the recording of the
previous
episodes, specifically the custody one. First of all, in determining who gets to keep a child, the court does not want children separated. So one stay with their mother, the other stay here. No, because the court understands the benefits that kids have when they grow together. And so the court will, on that score, want to have all the kids. If it's with a man, all will be with a man. If it's the woman, all will be with the woman. Secondly, poverty is not a barrier to having custody of your child. So if the court is convinced that the other party can afford it, it will make an order that the kids should be with the mother every month you send X amount of money for the kids, send X amount of money for the upkeep. And so that can be done. It appears from that it's an arrangement they had. Yes, you can also have your own arrangement, but if you feel that you're not getting the best out of that arrangement and you want to push it, then yes, by all means, get help from a professional who can help you get your kids back.
Right.
Lawyer, please, how much does a divorce cost, and how long is the process going to take? Selma from Accra. So averagely, maybe we'll be looking at, the cost involved.
Okay, so it's a bit difficult to throw out numbers because as much as the scale of fees provides a range, most people are not able to afford that range. And so most firms or private legal practitioners balance it depending on what client you have. Sometimes we provide some of these legal services for free.
Okay.
As in for the legal fees, but most law firms or lawyers will still let you pay the filing fees and then all those stuff.
How much is the filing fee?
You can pay filing fee as low as 10 cedis.
Okay.
So they are not things that are expensive.
Is it depending on the law firm you use?
No, it depends. So filing fees are paid to the court.
Okay.
And so it depends on what process you are filing and what reliefs you want.
Okay.
So if you want like $1 million, you know that your filing fee is a percentage of what you want. And so it will go with that. But if you don't want any money, you just want your kids, you just want to move away, you're not asking for so much. And so if they look at it, there's a process that they go through to determine how much you'd pay. But filing fees in this country are generally very, very affordable.
So you may have a divorce done and eventually paying, let's say, 20,000 cedis.
It's possible. You can pay more, you can pay less.
Yeah, but I'm just,
You can pay way lesser than that.
Oh, okay.
You can also pay more. Depending, you see, what goes into determining what the final figure is includes, what properties are you trying to get? How many kids? What are the number of kids involved? Is it going to be contentious? Are the parties, everybody understands that, okay, you take them, and we are going to just file a terms of settlement on the ancillary reliefs and then the matter.
Which make things very easier
and shorter.
Okay.
Then all of that is factored in there and counsel are able to, work around the numbers for you. And so really and truly, the numbers really depend on which firm you are. But it's not that expensive. So, and the time also depends on what you're asking for and how much you want to drag it. And so you can have a divorce start and end in 3 months. You can also have a divorce start and end in 2 years. So yes, really and truly it depends.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So my husband is very abusive. What can I do to protect myself during the divorce process, Charlie?
So I assume that the divorce process has started. And so if it has started, if you can afford it, move out. Or you can if the divorce process has started and you're in court, you can get the court or make either an oral application or a written application by yourself or through your lawyer to let the court order the husband to move out from the house, especially when there are kids involved.
Oh, that can be done.
Yes,
He'll be forced to move from the house. Okay.
Hello, Roslyn and KMJ. Really enjoying the show. This is Ransford from 2nd D. Can I stop paying child support if my ex won't let me see my children? Please ask the lawyer for me.
No, you can't.
Okay.
But you can also get the court to compel her to let you see your children. Because you are performing your part of the responsibilities and you also have rights. You are entitled to access to your children. They are yours. And that's why the court is making you pay those fees to take care of them. And so you have the right to also see them. So that's the answer to that.
Hello, Prime Morning. I want to get a divorce, but don't know how to get it started. What do I do? Abigail from home.
Abigail, let's talk after the show.
Yeah,
okay.
Call lawyer after the show, okay. I don't have money to fund for my divorce. What can I do? Mary from Salt Pond.
I think Senna just answered that,
yeah.
right?
Your husband can actually be, forced to pay. But it's a process.
And you can also be forced to pay for your husband.
Exactly,
Yes.
So there's a process to it. So yeah, a long one. Good morning. I love your show, Pao. I'm not married, but I've lived with a man for the past 9 years with no child. We've been to the hospital, and it seems it's the man's fault. The doctor gave him medicine, and he said it's so expensive, so he wouldn't buy again. I'm wasting my time, so I want to leave. But we have a house together for ourselves, contained. Okay, I'm trying to get a house together for ourselves. What should I do? Please help me.
Yes, so if you listen to the immediate past one where we had an entire discussion on Amasewa and Hashimo Gariba and the properties that were acquired. So get a lawyer and then let the lawyer help you, because if you have made contributions towards the acquisition of that property and you can show for it, then you are a co-owner of that property. And so once you're co-owner, you're entitled to the percentage of your contribution towards that property.
Okay. Good morning. I'm a lady who got married last 4 years. My husband slept with a 15-year lady. When I saw it, he threatened me with a knife, so I left the house because of the threat. Please, may I know the process of divorce concerning this issue, because I'm afraid to go back. Thank you. I think a lawyer will put his number out so that you can reach out to him. He's already spoken about the processes, and so just get in touch with him and he'll help you with that as well. Other messages coming in as well. Hi, good morning. Please, have been married for 4 years now, but my husband have changed totally. He doesn't talk to me nor want me to be where I am at all. He talks to me anyhow he wants, and to the extent that he wanted to get married to another woman whilst we are not divorced yet. He traveled with a lady everywhere. Please, how can I talk out in this? Okay, again, the same question here, where you can reach out to lawyer Senna Hoto right after the show. He'll leave his number so you can get in touch with him. He'll help you. But our previous conversations, he's spoken about how you can get out of such marriages. KMJ?
Good morning, Prime. I'm Daku from Dukrom. My brother got married last year with 2 kids. The lady is willing to leave the marriage due to my brother's quick temper. How can we save this marriage? A quick temper today, stop marriage.
You'll be amazed.
Yeah.
Sometimes I always say that I've had people come to me, and as much as it's our work and then we do it to take care of a family, my first comment is not continue the marriage. I would always tell you, get a counselor, get help. Because if it is a behavior that you can get help for and then the person can change, I don't think your first point of call should be, let's break it down, let's divorce it. Try and fix it. And some of the people that I've spoken to have actually gone and they are happily married now and they didn't come back. So once in a while I call and be like, so how is it going? I say, oh, lawyer, thank you so much. I didn't know, So if it is a behavior that, you can remedy, get help. And then sometimes we say get a counselor and all of that. Sometimes your counseling people can be your church, your family, the people that that person respects so much that, who can talk to both of you and try and resolve the matter. So that's it.
Anyway, I don't know, but it's quite interesting to know that, this man slept with a 15-year-old lady. But this lady, why did she report this case to the police?
People, for some reasons,
want to shield their husband?
Want to shield them because they feel like, oh, I have kids with this man. And this is a criminal offense.
Yeah, this
and you can go to jail for it. You understand? So, for some reasons, I don't know, but if a crime is committed like this, you report it. But for some reasons, people want to protect their spouses, protect their... And even there are homes that the man does this stuff with even their own children or stepchildren, and the parents try to cover it up because they don't want... Sometimes they feel like the man is the sole earner or the breadwinner. So try and do something. That's why we try to encourage women empowerment, so that, because once you're doing something, you're also bringing in an income, you have a certain level of, voice in the house, so that you don't feel like, your partner is your only hope or your only option. So that's about it.
Now, in this case where she's actually run away and she's afraid to go back, is it possible that, the court can order the man to take care of or pay for her housing wherever she is?
But then she must have started the process, the divorce process.
Okay.
It is possible, but as to whether it will be granted is also another thing. Because in granting or making an order from the court, the court doesn't just take one thing to decide.
Okay.
It looks at the whole issue holistically and then determine that this order or this decision that I'm about to make, will it be in the interest of justice? Looking at the entire case, will it cast any kind of slur on the final determination of the matter? So that at the end of the day, there's a fair outcome from the court. It's a court of justice. It's not your court or his court. So everybody must have, there must be justice and fairness, even playing ground for everybody to benefit.
In this case, too, if she's making, or filing for the divorce and all that, can she do it without mentioning the 15 years situation, knowing that there could be a problem from the man, for the man if the court finds out this?
Yes, in fact, when you file a petition and you're going to rely on adultery in this matter, for example, and you can decide to add the name of the adulterer, the person that, your spouse, had the adultery with.
Yeah.
Yes. But the risk with that is, if you cannot prove that whole adultery thing, that person whose name appears there can sue you for defamation. And so bringing it back home in a situation like this, if she doesn't want to put the person in trouble, which I will, as an officer of the court, once a crime has been committed, you report it. She will invariably take out that set of facts from the petition and just maintain that, the person has committed adultery and talk about all the other facts without mentioning the age. But it will also mean that you are lying to an officer of the court. Deceit of a public officer is a crime. And it will also amount to perjury. So some of these things, you need an experienced hand to guide you through that process, so that at the end of the day, you can get what you want, which is the dissolution of the marriage, without perjuring yourself, without, at the end of the day, getting slapped with deceit of a public officer and all those other things. So, yeah.
Because it won't make sense. In trying to go and get some whatever it is, you end up getting more troubles for yourself.
And you see, the man is probably, she's trying to get a divorce because she's hoping that she'll be getting support from the man to take care of the kids and all of that. And so you go through that process, and by the time you're done, the person who would be supporting you is in jail.
Also going to jail.
So how are you going to go through that process?
So we need your number. So everybody is asking for Sena's number. It's time for you to pick your phones, pick your pen and your paper, and write down the number, Sena.
Okay, so you can reach me on 0242 577 485. 0242 577 485. So I think that we've had a fruitful and exciting conversation throughout the last 4 or 5 weeks. And so I believe that if you also have any challenges beyond what we've had and you have some questions and then you want to want assistance in terms of answering some of those questions for you, you can always route it through the studio by all means. And if you feel it's a personal one that you want to talk, just give it a call.
Do give Senna a call, and he's given his number. So finally, you get to speak with Senna. He's there to help you. And if you need to go through the divorce process as well, he'll help you, aid you. There's a law firm. Tell us about the law firm, a little bit about it.
Okay, so Parkwood and Mosaic. It's a corporate commercial law firm, and then also a full-service law firm. So we pretty much do everything from corporate law, commercial. We do land litigation. We also handle issues of divorce, of course, and then all of it. So if you have debt recoveries, and we assist companies to be able to, get remedies for themselves. And so that's just about a snapshot of it without appearing to be touted. So,
All right.
And the location is East Legon.
So yes, so we are at East Legon. If you go online and then Google the firm, you'll get our address, the phone number, the receptionist, everybody, and then you can always reach us.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
And then the last one before I step. I think if I don't do this,
I know, right?
We have gotten there. We are there.
now that the divorce is over,
We are there.
Yes. So I want to take this opportunity.
Lord doesn't want divorce.
See
the power of women,
The power of women, yes. So yes, I want to use this opportunity.
In fact, you have all the time.
Yeah,
End at 10 o'clock.
I know.
Write this for us.
Let me write the legal thesis, on this matter here. So a happy birthday to the love of my life.
Oh.
Yes, and today happens to be her birthday, and then also our wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well,
thank
you do everything.
So yes, I am super excited about today, and we won't say too much on that.
But you've got plans, right?
Oh, definitely.
A lot.
Okay, yeah, because
Definitely.
this is a lot. This is huge.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yes, that's just about.
No
it.
wonder you're glowing this morning. It makes
look
a lot
at
of
you.
sense, right?
Mrs. God bless you. You have done well. You are taking care of this man. It's not an easy job. You have done so much.
Other series coming your way as well. So we know you have enjoyed the divorce series. You've been impacted by it. We'll have other series coming your way. So just keep your dial
Muftar is
still
getting
on.
a divorce.
No, Muftar is not even
lawyer
married
will
yet.
handle
He's
it.
not even married yet.
Ahead of time.
No, we'll look for another legal service for Muftar, not
Make
the
sure
divorce.
that you
Get the
send
divorce
us to
in
Pride
advance.
Morning every morning from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. because we'll bring you other series.